Now, this is where I would want to connect it with something that I said in the previous video about this element of introspection. So, imagine this: the Vedic way of life started and originated during the Rig Vedic age, or the Aryans who practiced it during that age. During that age, everybody had the skill and the knowledge, to carry out those yajnas or sacrificial practices. Over a period of time, the references to the god change. For example, Shiva in the Rig Veda, it means something that is auspicious. It is Rudra that is mentioned in the Rig Veda, not Shiva. Okay, and it gradually keeps on changing. But the point that I'm trying to make over here is, gradually over a period of time, there were certain people who carved out a certain niche. That is, they were the ones who memorized these hymns. Okay, keep in mind, the way it was carried forward from generation to generation was through word of mouth. So somebody has to memorize it for it to go forward. So there was a group of people who later on, or today we call them as priests. They were the ones who memorized these things, and they were the ones who passed this along from generation to generation. So during those times, those were the people who were required. So if you wanted to perform a sacrifice, you needed to avail their services. And that is how they carved out a niche for themselves. Slowly and steadily, like I said, this practice of conducting these yajnas was concentrated into certain elites only, people who were wealthy enough to afford the resources that were necessary to carry out those practices. The common man, he felt the need that, I too want to practice these yajnas, but I'm not resourceful or wealthy enough. Hence starts the decentralization of the Vedic way of life. Okay, that is why you see from Atharva to the Upanishad, you see that there were different paths that came out of the Vedic fold that were in essence an affront towards the Vedic way of life, such as Buddhism, Jainism and whatnot. Okay, now these faiths, I like to call them as spiritual startups. Now these spiritual startups, what did they do? They took away they diluted the concentration of power that was there in the hands of those elite priests and gave it to a common man. So it became a popular religion. It became a popular way of life. And hence we say that every plural faith that we have has one mother resource, that is the Vedic fold.